for the random draw part of this turn. Remember, this is half my turn, basically. Green gets hit with the first player. They don't have capacity to move that, so that's definitely going there. And what do we got? We got beaver. Plants regrow slowly in Greenland's cold, dry climate, and once cleared or browsed off, gullies form carrying the soil out to sea. So, to some extent, this should depend on the success of other of the players. If they're doing really poorly, this probably shouldn't hit them. Beaver pelt, assigning an alpha to the new world instantly earns 1 white. Now, how am I going to notice this? Because this book gets auctioned off, and then this is going to be gone. Wow. Oh, that's going to be hard to remember. Okay, and we got a pizza slice that looks like maybe it's the southern one. I'm not sure. I think that, it's just by the direction. Yeah, okay. And then, okay, here's one of the interesting things. So, I think this is supposed to read each. I saw this before and was like, what the fuck is that? For ia D in tableau. I think it's supposed to say each there. It's just a typo where a couple letters got cut off. So this is, and that makes sense with the soil erosion. So first thing we do is we look for the worst of these. And that's a 3. That goes away. And we get a new one. I did pick the right kind, didn't I? And now we got the hoodie seal. Okay. All right. And you can domesticate them? No. That'd be awesome. I mean, if you can domesticate orcas, certainly seals seem like an easier job. And now, who has Ds? Well, he has the only D. I have to, and I must pay this, from what I understand. Make sure I'm not married. I know some people are. I have to burn I have to burn my last fuel for that. Now, I have to remember this beaver pelt fad, but first we have this hand size thing. Well, I'm at hand size. And there is a domestication which is kind of out of my reach, so. And another one which is out of my reach in other directions. It's kind of hard because these guys over here, I almost feel like they're the new world, like because they're on that side. I know it's not the case, but. So what do we do? That's a good question. Is anybody interested in this thing? And this is kind of interesting because yellow really can't afford to go to the New World. At least not there. They could afford to go up there if they had a mariner. They need a mariner for anything. But basically, no one is going to be able to send their alpha without building a mariner. Green could, but green's got kind of the problem of overloading this or that, either one. So I think we might end up not having to worry too much about that, but I'll put some dice or something to remind me because I know I'm not going to make it through more than this one card. So bidding. Who is interested in hand size? I think everybody's a little iffy on it. So I'm going to give that really a 1 in 6 on each player. Okay. Green is willing to bid on it. They have tons and tons of this. So that's... And they don't have hand size. So they're the most interested, except I spent an orange. I should be spending a white. Now, red has a lot of white, but they also have hand size and don't feel like they're likely to use it. So we're getting towards the end of the game. People are going monotheistic. Hand size is probably less important at this point. And what does that mean? Well, that means I gotta do something to remind me of this capability, or just play straight through. I think I'll try to go for the latter. Put a lie to myself when I finally realize what I do every time. Now I commit to it and I stop. I have a mariner. There's no war chief over here. I'm gonna sail 2 people into here, get myself a free ivory. That seems like a deal, to tell you the truth. Yes, it leaves me with very little left in terms of people. What am I good at hunting? I'm good with fish. I'll go here. I kind of want that one, and probably will get beat out by a single yellow going in there to just fuck me over. Yeah. I would like to create more folk. Maybe the answer, my friends. Do I need more babies? I don't know, maybe. Maybe the answer is I'm allowed to promote hunters at 0 wood cost. What do I want to put? Which one is most interesting to me? I mean, maybe if I get the thing, but I think the most interesting is a war chief, and we can hunt stuff. Oh, I didn't have to. Oh, I don't have to spend orange. That's so. Yeah, I don't think a war chief is that interesting. I'm going first. I have the fish advantage for hunting. Let's go for babies. That's the thing we most want. Anyway, I'll pass on to the next player. Other players are going to have a harder time. They're going to have to promote a mariner in order to take advantage of that ivory. And that becomes a... Obviously, I can't do it here, but for him, maybe it's worthwhile. He has the promote at 0 wood cost too. Pile of orange. I should have probably grabbed this with all those oranges. Promotes a war chief. Hey, I'm already Christian, and because I don't want to use up all my pieces, spreads out to a lot of places where I'm planning on attacking. Now, after everyone's moved, I'm allowed to redistribute 3 guys, which I will take out of here. Yes, I have a war chief. I'll beat up on the greens there, but no biggie. And I'm going to, since I'm going to lose each of these fights otherwise, I'm going to put... Why do I only have 1 in there? Oh, that was kind of dumb. I'm going to look for... Is there something that uses 2? The Gyrfalcon uses 2. I'll go there. And I'm going to hope that I win these fights. Negotiation time? Well... I could make an agreement. I won't attack you if you give me a wife. But I actually kind of think that I'd like to wipe them out. I don't know what happens if I wipe them out and I'm married. Do I keep the woman, or what? I just don't know. That would be a special case situation I'm willing to live with. So I'm not going to negotiate, and there's no one else to negotiate. The only exception is here I would probably be willing to trade wives. There aren't many boats up here. Ooh. See, I'm good on boats. That's where I get, I would have been able to re-roll 4s. Could go for that whale, get lots of stuff. But I don't really need fuel, so that's one of the big gains there. So I think I'm going to just say screw it and go to the combat. I did the card that I always forget to do. Livestock raid, it looks like this thing's not going to survive, so raiding it won't help me much. So who has the most iron? Well, I'm the only one who can attack. So let's do our attacks. We'll start over here. I got 2. Now, I use the raid icon. I gotta look. I reroll 6s. Hey, I remembered it this time. I reroll 5s and 6s. Alright, over on those birdies. I do not kill. The seal, I do not kill. The cod, I get a reroll. I do not kill. Remember, it's 5s and 6. It's only 1s that hit. And then over here, I do not kill. Okay, well, that war chief was not terribly useful. Now we go to New World Hostile. We moved out, so there's no problem there. And the hunt phase. Green controls the hunt phase. I got piles of fuel. I'm not going for the bog iron, so I don't have anything that's going to eat fuel, so I can just roll everywhere. So yellow gets a baby. Babies are hugely important right now. Over here, North Row, green. 3s turn to 1s. I think that's it. I got 2 hits. That's sufficient. I did not roll any deaths. So I get a baby and more fuel than I can handle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Okay. The next one over is ant. 3s and 4s are rerolls. That's not a 3 or 4. Yellow gets to go. We look for ants for yellow. Oh, I had rerolls here that I wasn't counting. Oops. I saw this one. I didn't see that one. Too bad. Looking for ants. I don't see anything with ants. I get nothing. This clears. Over here, green gets first shot, I guess. Because the fishy first is over there. 3. Maybe that's something. We look. We don't see fishies at 3. Oh, we do have fishies at 3. That's a 1. It's a success. So we got up bab. Go over here. This is ants. Was ants the thing we fucked up on? I don't think so. Okay, we got 1 hit. That's not good enough. We have no rerolls. We have a death. That's no good. Okay. The cod, that's fishy. Fishy, I know, has things. So 3, that's a 1. Green gets a baby and clears yellow from the card. We go down here. Green is still first. They're smaller. Unless there's a hammer first thing, which I don't think there is. I got 1, 1. I roll the other one. I get a 3. A 3 is not good, but 3s turn into 1s, so I succeeded. This does not clear the board. And it gets me more fuel and an iron. Hey, we're in on that fun. And now yellow gets to roll here too because it's infinite. I don't know how good we are with this stuff. We got 1 hit. That's not good enough. 4s. 3s turn to 1s. Same as this. Okay. Red. Red is playing the rest of the world. I got boats. Do I care about boats? I don't care about shit. I care about hammers. But I get a hit. That gets me a fuel. Hey, I'm going to be able to feed my sheep. I'll give them, I guess, harbor seal blubber to eat. Okay, on to the hooded seal. We roll a 1 with the 1 die. And we don't get a bunch of 1s. We do get a success. Let's see, this is boats. Boats isn't special for us. We didn't kill anything, but we do get 2 babies and a fuel. That was a pretty good hunt, to tell you the truth. Then we go over here to the Atlantic Charter. And we have a success, getting another baby. Wow, look at all these people. But we have to move things here so we can take advantage of our cards. And we didn't have the fuel last turn. And it's kind of tough to keep. Okay, and this is fishies, and this will probably kill us. Oh, we got 2 successes. That's pretty cool. We got no deaths. We did not get the trophy. But we had a successful hunt of the whale, and look at all these people. Wow, we really want to marry her. Too bad she's already married. And that should be it for the turn, as we set up for the next turn. All right, let's continue chronicling not only the decline of the Greenland colonies, whatever, but also of me. Now remember, this is not playing with the survivalist one, so you're probably not going to get the historical result of like wiping out most of the people. Iceland trade ship, that moves this thing to green. Green doesn't have the war chief, so they can't reapportion it. Oh, nobody has chief, and guess what? We got another feud. And then we have a cube death, which comes after the feud. That's kind of important. Although trade with Greenland was supposed to be a royal Danish monopoly, most trade was with black marketers, such as privateers bearing special Icelandic breeds of cattle, horse, sheep, and goats. And we're going to be getting rid of something up there. Okay. So, let's see what the feud does, because we cannot possibly remember these things. Decimate all players who do not have a cube in rank 1 of their Elder Corps. So decimate, we looked this up, and that means something. You remove half your unassigned hunter cubes, and exactly 1 elder. Okay. Well, Mariner looks important, and half my unassigned is 3. Oh, I thought this was water. Stupid black cubes. Elder, down to only 1. 3, 6, 7, 8. I lose 4 of my cubes. No elders left. What? Oh, we didn't want to because we do that. 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I lose 8. Now, anyone who survived that, 13 or more cubes. Decimate all players who have the specified number or more of unassigned hunter cubes. Well, there's no way. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. But the point is, if the feud didn't kill you, the disease will. So, you know, the feud will hurt smaller groups. The disease makes sure that if you had that chief in place, the feud, the card is still going to screw you over. Then we go, and what's this? This card's facing the wrong way. Imported goats, sheep, or ponies auction off a random side of the unused Norse farm animal. The winner adds it to his tableau. Oh, okay. So we got this. This is going to come into play. But first, we have to allocate, we have to get rid of one of these. This is a 1. So that's the one that dies. And it goes into the same place, and we get a muskox, which is domesticatable. Okay, now this audits the goat. Okay, so the goat is up for auction now. The goat does not have a cost, and it provides babies. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that thing probably isn't anywhere near as cool. Who wins auctions? That's PP Lee. But otherwise, we got first player here. So the real question is this creation of babies. It looks like a good deal. However, we're at the end of the game, and this is worth like 2 victory points, if I read something correctly. No, ivory is only worth 1. Iron is worth 2. I will get this turn. I'll get it next turn, but it won't fucking matter. So basically, the question is an ivory worth 1 baby in the course of the game? Or a fuel. Fuel isn't worth victory points either, I think. I don't know. We lost the page again. I hate where victory points are like this mass of things and you just have to count them. Nope. Ivory and iron only. You may convert cards with ivory over iron, and I assume that happens at the end of the game that you can turn them in. But turning into fuel doesn't help me, so yeah, I don't know, man. My biggest goal at this point would be to get ivory and iron, which is kind of like, you know, the bogs and stuff like that is what we're going to try to aim for. I'll go for a 1 because maybe it'll be something useful. Let's look at other people. Green. Red. Yeah, nobody really wants this. Bye-bye, goatee. Okay. And that's going to put us onto the hunter allocation, right? Yippee. Short break. Interesting situation. The person with a mariner here is the only person who is who has any elders. Would be able to go after the bog iron. It has the fuel to look for it, whatever. But he's got a low quantity of hunters available for next turn. And not an easy way to extricate. My alpha's over here, which wasn't... Yeah, maybe I should have thunk a little harder about that. Huh? As a matter of fact, I can't use him as a 1 there. I think I've been forgetting about this and using these guys as 1s on hammer. Let's see. There's the rule on the alpha, if I can find it. It exists somewhere. There it is. Yeah. So, metallurgy and battleground are not available for the alpha. Only the hunting capabilities, which... Wow, that... Now, obviously, if I take a death, I take the hunter, I take the alpha as my death, and the next baby that I get, I'll recuperate the alpha, and that makes up for it, but I did not get a death last time. I think I didn't roll for him, I think I just counted him as a 1, which is equally goofy. So, I do not have a lot of people, and I don't have a capacity to move people off of these, even though I have a mariner. The only way I can move them off is to say, I don't want to be there at all. Well, this is not a bad place to be. This one, if I could get everybody off, maybe, because I don't need all that fuel by any means. But I think what it means is I go for the best places I can. And right now, fuel doesn't matter. Looking at other things, I think my best places I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to spend that fuel to grab that bog, just because. All right, well, I got to do the other folks as well. It's just, I wanted to zone in on this because it was kind of a weird situation. Others had special cases. Here I want an acolyte. That's worth 4 victory points if I get it onto somebody else's sheet. That's kind of cool. Might have actually wanted 2 of them, but I'm increasing my chances of, I don't know, I can't domesticate this thing. Why do I care? Let's put a second acolyte in. And I don't have to pay wood cost, which is, I guess, fuel cost. You know. The Vikings are not, they're polytheists. They have domestication and a 3 victory point idea that I want to get into play. Plus I have 3 victory points for this. Yes, I have a fair amount of ivory. Whatever. It might not be of any importance to me anymore. I can turn this into fuel. But I spent all my fuel, which means I may not be able to domesticate the animal I want to domesticate. Problem. Unless I get fuel. Now we're on negotiation, but not quite. We're on him. He could back away from here. Do I want to leave just one person there? Oh, the problem with doing that is that I'd be less likely to get stuff, and I do want the stuff there. I'm staying with everyone. Okay, negotiation time. Do we have... Does anybody have a war chief? Nobody does. So there's not going to be any fighting. But the question is, do these guys want to cut a deal, since they're both in the same place, to reduce the population? If they each got rid of 1, that wouldn't help him very much. I think the answer is no. Unless he wanted to get 2 marriages, which wouldn't be terrible, but he still would have very little chance. So the card flips over to its unhappy side. Right? This is when that happens? Yeah. When were we allowed to pay it off? I guess you could do it right now. Nobody wants to. Because this isn't that bad, it's just more deadly. Okay. Which means it's hunt time. Green controls the hunt order. Green wants to do this one first. I only got 1 guy there and I need 2 to succeed. What the fuck? What did I do? Oh, that was stupid. Oh well, that was dumb. Idiotic. Okay. Terrible. I'll do the 5 dice over here. I don't have anything else that eats fuel. Yeah. 5 dice over there. I need 1 success. Okay. I got 3 deuces, hammers. Hammers, 3's turn into something. Nothing else. I don't kill anything, but I do succeed with this. I get another bebe. That puts me to 6, not good. I get as much fuel as I want. 2, 4, 5, 6, which is none. And that's it. Okay. Yellow over here, 1 success. I get an ivory. Yippee. Over here, this is a fishy. Hey, I get a success. I get a fuel, I don't know. I'm all full up on fuel. I get a baby. Green, fishy. A 6. Okay, we gotta look. Nope. I guess I don't get shit. Whoops. Not to bump cards. We go down here. Who hunts first? I don't think the person with the most iron hunts first. I think it's always least hunter. Let me just see if there's a picture of that. I don't see one. I don't know. Maybe. Who the fuck knows? Which means the Thule get to roll first. It doesn't really matter. That's 2 successes and a 6. A 6 I can re-roll. Do I have any other options? I don't know. Maybe. Okay, 2 successes and a 5. Well, I avoid dying. So I get 2 more babies, 2 fuel that I can't use, and an iron that I can. Look at all those. That's a lot of victory points I'm collecting up there. The Thule are doing quite well in terms of victory. That puts me over here, because that's not a hunter card, I get to roll this. And Greenland is going first. They actually, well, they have, I don't know. I screwed up. Okay, so that's 2 successes and 2 5s. Do 5s give us anything? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, 2 successes is enough that I would have gotten 2 babies. Since I didn't kill anybody, it's not a big deal that I fucked up the order. I get 2 fuel that I can't have, and I get an iron. And that's getting really, really populous. Okay. We go down here. Red. Red succeeds. Right? That's a hunting thing, not a bad thing that I'm not allowed to have. So I get my fuel and my baby. Over here, I'm rolling 3 dice on a boat. I don't have any boat capability. I get a pair of 1s. That's not quite enough for this, but it's enough to get me success. So I get 2 people and another fire, and I'm pretty damn happy with what I'm collecting right now. Things are going well. I'm going to be able to domesticate animals and all kind of stuff like that. And then this final one is fishing. I got doubles. It doesn't help me, but I get a baby. And we got a nice population growing there. Now, we flip through the rule book until we get to the next thing, biodiversity, I don't know. Domesticated animals. We're the only ones with domesticated animal. We have this. I don't know. I've got to pay a fuel to keep it alive. Or I could kill somebody, but I can't kill them yet. I pay a fuel to get it alive. Do I want a baby or do I want an ivory? I'm going to grab an ivory because I think I'm going to become monotheistic, but I don't know how that's going to happen. We shall see. Couldn't do it yet. Leader actions. Polytheism first. I got this mariner. I don't have a way to get rid of him. I can't make myself something else. I have these 2 things. I don't have a way to get rid of them, but I do have a way to domesticate this. My elk hounds. And I can turn them into fuel, but that's not terribly useful. And I have a way to I think I want to keep my things, actually. Is there... Yeah, I got enough babies. Okay. I create another eye from my hand. That's going to take a black to do. I don't have one. I fucked up somehow. Maybe I didn't. Maybe. I just didn't get one. Do I have a way to get one? I could turn this in, but that's already worth 3 victory points. Wow. I really like this, but I have no possibility to play this unless there's something else. Yeah, I screwed up. I needed to get a black and I didn't set myself up for that. And I mean, that's the kind of thing that's frustrating, and It certainly is worse when you're playing solo in terms of you're more likely to fuck up. But honestly, I'm pretty damn likely to fuck things like that up when I'm playing opposed as well. And I don't know what to say about it. It's just like this, the interleaving of planning that's all solo planning. It's all stuff that you're doing yourself, figuring out what you can do and everything. It's really, really hard for me. And it is frustrating and makes me not like a game. It is the heart and soul of worker placement type games and of a lot of Euros, is the figure out what your own little tableau can generate for you. I don't know why I find that so hard. Sometimes it's not difficult, but when it's like many different things trying to facilitate, it becomes difficult. When I'm looking at something like a Magic tableau, where I'm able to attack someone, somehow that's different, and I'm more focused on being able to do that. Anyway, we come over to this Acolyte, and we can send emissaries. We will send 2 out. One Elder action is done without cost, so I take that back. And I believe these go sent out to the 1 space, right? Yep. And now I just gained myself 8 victory points, and boy am I doing well compared to everyone else over here with these Christians. I don't know if they're Christian. They're monotheists. Maybe they caught Christianity from a few European, Irish that the Vikings brought across. Or maybe they made up their own, monotheism. Not that it's a very common thing. It seems to largely be one set of one set of roots. Now, maybe if they made up their own kind of monotheistic religion and now they're going to infect other people, I don't know. If they get a bishop, they can. I don't know if it particularly behooves them. I mean, other people look like they have more victory points if they're turned monotheistic, but it might fuck up some of their capabilities. It feels more like that's something you want to do to people early in the game if you're set up for it. I think that's it for the turn. We got 1 more left. That's not going to happen today. I go dancing tonight, so cheers. I had somehow pushed through and gotten this done on Thursday, honestly, which would have been possible. I mean, it is not a long game, but after dancing and then a day of recovery from that where, I definitely could have come in and played the last turn, but I didn't want to face the damn review part. We're back to this, and it's going to be particularly tough probably because we waited so long. We got smallpox. Alright, first player will be red. Red does not have the capability to change that. No Viking chief. Too many elders missing. Okay, we get a female death, I think. What the hell does that mean? Let's see. Is that VD? Decimate all players with husbands married to daughters of the color of the daughter. So anyone married to a Viking daughter would get VD. And the daughters themselves are immune? No, the husband is immune. Decimate all players with husbands married. Ah, okay. Yeah, well, nobody suffers. It is a decimation. We've got 2 of these, and then we've got a big decimation, which might hit the Vikings. They might be close enough. Would make sense. They have VD, man. Okay. Question is anybody immune to this? I seem to remember something like that. I don't know. I don't see it here. So we'll roll. We get a 2 and a 4. That's no one. I don't know who that yellow counts against. So we'll skip yellow because they have none, and we'll go to red. 4 and 5, they don't get hit. Let me roll. If yellow gets any 1s. Okay, they did not, so we're not going to go look up that roll. Because again, you know, especially so late in the game, who the fuck cares? This is the last chance that I have to hit this. And I'm not going to remember, you know, next time I play in 4 or 5 years, if it so happens. Okay, 10 or more. 3, 6, 9, 10. Oh, shit. So that's a decimation, so that's 5. Every time the population gets to a reasonable size. Am I immune to something? Probably not. And we got to throw out one person, and I don't think we're allowed to throw out that yellow guy. But I don't know. Decimate all players who do not have a cube in rank 1 of their Elder card. Oh, wait. A chief or foreign missionary or representative. I'm saved by that foreign representative. He prevents the feud from happening. Those happy monotheists have come and made us less violent. Of course, we could end up becoming monotheists, which would suck. But that's pretty cool. And now we have an auction for imported pot, man. Oh, tired of getting high off just babies and fuel? What does this do? Rounds losses down during decimations. It's worth an iron. To the monotheist, an iron is worth 2 ivory. Clearly it's worth me bidding an ivory for this. And I have PP lead. Here's the problem. To a Viking, it's worth 1 victory point. Ivory's worth no victory points, but I might get proselytized. The proselytizing would require him to buy a bishop, expend energy, and roll dice at a shot at converting me. That seems like a painful combination. Is it worth 2 to push him that way? I don't know. I'm already sitting on 6 victory points. I'm going to have to get an iron, which is probably through the bogs, which is not going to be trivial, in order to get that extra 3 victory points. These ivory are worth a lot. I'd say chances are I'm not going to be proselytized. I'm going to pay this. This is worth 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 victory points. No, it's only worth, it's not worth 2 each. All the more reason, let's pick up the extra victory point. At 2, over here, I am highly, highly unlikely to be converted by anyone else. Can I convert if this fucker's there? That's an interesting question. Your elder card is double-sided. When you have no elders of your color, you have the option to switch it. I am probably better off doing that. This becomes worth 2. Same situation as him. I can't win the auction. So it goes here. It's not worth me throwing away victory points, I think. So I will sell this nice pot and let the Vikings have it. And now we are on the first player for the Hunters, and as usual, we're going to take us a break because doing an event card feels incredibly fatiguing to me in this game. I honestly don't know why. Maybe because it's got multiple events on each card. You know, it's like boom, 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 boom. 4 plus an auction is 5. And, you know, determining first player and whatever. I'm kind of more used to the event cards of his earlier games where it's like, well, one thing kind of happens and it may be an auction. And maybe there's a general thing like in Lords of the Sierra Madre, there's a bank value to each one that people make some money off of or whatever. But for the most part, it's an investment value. That's just like money that goes to everybody's hands. And it's a very automatic type process, not a figure out, you know, it's one icon that's always the same thing, not a figure out 4 different icons on a given chart and then do an auction as well and all that kind of stuff. And it just, you know, first thing in the turn, and I'm like, damn, I don't want to do no more. The Vikings had to play first. I notice my dogs here give me the sled capability. Again, hard to see. Like, I saw this and thought, is that the sled? And then I'm like, oh no, there it is. You know? But again, with so much information being conveyed on each card, so many different capabilities on each card, being able to tell the board state is difficult. Anyway, I used that to be able to drop some people here. I'm focusing on getting the iron as well as some fuel. I actually even thought about this, but man, that would be really, really fucking hard. 13 victory points would be a huge boost, though, if I could domesticate my orcas. Well, what would they fucking give me? I don't know. They'd give me a huge advantage there, but that's about it. They could also be converted for fuel. Neither of them really opportunities that are available to me right now. So I'm going for fuel. Why? Because I need fuel. I don't know why. I need fuel to keep my animal alive. And I need fuel for something else, but I can't think of what. Yeah, I don't need to promote anyone. It would be too late. I need fuel to domesticate? No. Maybe I'm aiming for fuel that I don't need. I certainly don't need babies. Let me think why I thought I needed fuel. Because I thought I needed fucking fuel here. I need 1 fuel to keep my animal alive. So what happens if I go in here big? Or even go in here big? Well, this one's the easiest, right? I need 4 for either of these. We got to think real hard. Things I wanted to look at is how many people can I transport with sleds, because that's going to be important if I want to go for, say, this, which, you know, is worth that same 13 victory points, right? Well, for each D card with a sled icon at your tableau, you may place any number of cubes on 1 card outside your homeland. So a sled would allow me to transport as much as I needed to here. I would need multiple sleds to go to multiple spaces, just like I would need multiple mariners to go to multiple spaces, I guess. That's... yeah. I hope I haven't made that error and used Mariner to move 4 pieces to multiple different areas, which would make sense. You know, you can sail around to different places, but yeah. All right, so we're going to rethink our plan. We really need this iron. That is necessary. Yes, we could cash this in for iron or this, and that would allow us to get this value instead. This is worth more than the pot, so melting the pot down would be worthwhile. But we do want the iron. But I don't think we care about fuel in much number. Maybe we need one. Let's see. Reapportioning into this. I don't know what all that fuel would do me, but whatever. And hoping that I can get enough multiples that I have an advantage. Now, one of the problems in both of these cases is I have no boat advantage. And there's nothing I can easily do to get myself one. I can't do a Sabine raid unless I had an energy that I could bring a Viking chief up with. All right, on to the next player. We are not in a good position here. I do have a mariner. I'm sitting on 2 New World locations without enough mariners to pull everybody out. I am polytheistic right now. I would like to become monotheistic, which means I would have to figure out how to kill these guys. I can probably kill one pretty easily. Killing multiple might be difficult. Let me see where I could kill elders. I could kill elders here if I succeed in the bog iron. I don't have the capability to banish anyone. I wonder if you can banish yourself. I have the fuel to play around with to do that. So I could put someone up there and banish a couple. See, the problem is anyone I put up there has got to banish himself, so that doesn't really help. You can only banish one. And other points, the bog iron would be valuable to me. So I think that is my goal. 2 pieces. Oh shit, I don't have that. Yeah, okay. I failed to kill anyone. I think I mariner that over and hope for the best. I'll be going before him unless he has gets to do hammers first. And I think that's all I can do. I mean, I just don't have anything. Which puts me to the last player. What else I want fuel for is to banish this thing, because that's worth 4 victory points. I'm looking at the possibility of converting someone, where I'd have to make a bishop. My chances of doing that are not high. I currently have a hand size of 1. And that's it. Which means I'd be rolling 1 die, and I think I need a 1 to succeed. I could improve that by giving myself a sage and get it up to 2. I don't know. What does literacy do? Nothing. Okay. Beyond that, what else would I want? I would want resources. Bog iron is the only valuable resource. I don't have a mariner for that. Is there ivory I could get? Yeah, I could get ivory. Got a couple ivory I could get. So that may be my best thing to chase, because I don't have a lot of people. This produces iron, which is kind of interesting. I have the capability to pull people out of here. I can guarantee I win this. I think I'm going to pull 1 out of here using my sunstone or whatever. Improve my chances of getting that ivory, but I think I've got a fair chance of getting the iron still, so we'll stick with that. That puts us at negotiation. There are no attacks available. Nobody's got a war chief. But there is still the capability to negotiate. Is there something that would help me? Hand size would help me if I could cut a deal that got me that. But the only person who can give me hand size is the Vikings. Oh, and I didn't proselytize, so it's not really that important, or it's actually useless. So I don't think there's any room for any negotiation whatsoever. Okay. Which means we go to the hunting. No. We go to flipping this card over. Now, the advantages and disadvantages, victory points don't come for population, do they? Damned if I know, you know, you gotta keep in mind so much. Each cube not in Valhalla costs a victory point card, and colonists in the New World count as 2 if they're on the cold side, but we haven't hit that. Keeping my population alive seems like a useful thing. Do I have a bonus for raids or anything like that? No. I am planning on becoming monotheistic. I do not want to spend my ivory. It's worth victory points. Sure, population's worth victory points too, but, you know, not unless I can come to some sort of deal. How about yellow? Do I want to spend a victory point? So again, it's 1 victory point per population, so babies are important. Fuck that. I was wrong. If I pay, I'm helping both of us, but I think it's worth it. To make them peaceful. It only reduces the die roll by 1. I could get lucky. You know, chances are... Let's get that back. We'll leave that alone. So yeah. So now it's time to fight. Or hunt. I guess we'll just run down the chart. So that's 6 dice here. Looking for 1s or 2s. Who's got control? Red's got control, so I would like to burn babies for other people. I don't know. 6 dice. Okay, all kinds of 3s, a 5 and a 6. Hey, this raid on the other side? No. That's one thing that might have been worth it. Okay. So I got nothing that helps me with raids, and we have a big die-off. We didn't succeed in any die rolls, and we lost 5 of our 6 people. Ouch. Okay. Well, that sucks. Well, that opened up a lot of babies for him, which was perhaps not the best move. Okay, we will continue on and force yellow to go here. Yellow automatically succeeds, gets an ivory, and survives. No one. Yellow's here. I've got a lot of babies available. Yeah, I'm okay. This is ants. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Maybe like some kind of deer or something, but it's way long. Probably taken from some... Not a good roll. Do we have anything? I'm not seeing anything. Oh, geez. I had rerolls here. Fuck me. I had a 6 for a reroll. Hold on. Yeah, good luck ever seeing that. I roll a 6 again for it. I know I had 1 6, so Would that have succeeded? Yes, that would have gotten me stuff. Okay. And let's see. We're looking for ants here. We don't see any. We got to remember the raids. This guy has lots of bonuses on raids. It looks to me like he failed and got a 2. Loses a dude. There's the rest of the population for that. Red. Red is trying to kill off his population. So I roll a 1 with my elder, and I have 3, 6 dice. This is on a boat hunt, which I'm not good at. I got triple. I got no reroll, huh? That blows chunks. Would have had reroll if I had gone for ants, but they're not that big. So I succeeded getting myself 5 babies. I mean, that's a lot of victory points right there. 4 fuel, which is kind of good. I'm going to need some of that fuel. And I only lost 1. The rest coming down here. I did not get the quadruple. Wait, yeah, I got triple because I had the alpha there. I hope the alpha counts there. I know he does. Okay. Let's go to the next one, which is over here. Okay, do I hunt first on hammers? I doubt it. I don't think there was anything like that on hammer. Okay, here, officially yellow goes first. I've got some re-die rolls. First of all, I succeed. That helps a lot. I do have 2 deaths, but some of those may be re-rollable. I have to look. I have to be careful because this is easy not to see. I got a re-roll on a 6 only. Okay. That 3rd success doesn't matter at all. Yellow gets 2 babies, 2 fuel, which I think converts to 1. And most valuable of all, an iron. And now we go to green, who still has his alpha here that does not count as anything special, with 6 dice. And my re-rolls are on 6s. And that's it. Okay, well, I have failed. I reroll the 6 because death, no. I'm going to lose 4 guys. Which is painful. That is too big a pile. That means I've got penalties in my total victory. Bog iron, I get to go first on the bog iron. Bog iron is a hammer. I can turn 3s into 1s. I think that's it. I only got 1 success. That's not enough. So I'm not going to be able to kill him, which I really wanted to do. As well as getting the iron. I'm not going to be able to convert. And that means red gets to go here. Now red can burn fuel with no problem. Do I have any hammer advantages? I have 3s turn into 1s, and that's it. I do not succeed either. Oh wait, no, that was yellow. Probably have the same. I can re-roll 3s, 4s turn into 1s. I can re-roll 4s, not enough, I get nothing. That's the end of the line for the hunting. Domesticate animals. can't do that. I need an iron to claim this. Well, I can burn this pot and turn it into an iron. And it's worth more. Now, if I was to be proselytized, this is a problem, but it can't be done. He doesn't have a bishop. We go to the elder actions. Actually, that's what I just did. I got to do the domesticated animals. Is this worth doing? Yes. Fuel is worthless to me. Ivory isn't worth anything to me, but babies are. That's it there. No one else has domesticated animals at all. All right, elder actions. We did this one. The polytheists have to go first. He's up. He would love to convert. He can't. He can't figure out a way to get rid of his mariner. So he's stuck. And I got no elders here. Cannot baptize. It's time to score the game. We got some kind of paper here. I wonder what's on the other side of this. How to build a beanbag. Okay. Let me write up the calculations and I'll be back in a moment. The first thing is, who wants to convert stuff to other stuff? So for example here, this is worthless to me, but it is an iron. Fuck. So there aren't a lot of irons left. So I can turn this into an iron and it becomes a couple victory points for me that way. Likewise, the sword, not worth any victory points. It's going to become an iron. I only have one iron chip left, so rather than, you know, trying to figure something else out. Anything else I can convert? I don't see anything. He does not want to convert anything because it's not worth anything to him. Victory points will only come from other stuff. So I'll calculate out. Players using different things for victory points. The polytheists are using the trophy victory points. The monotheists are using the resource victory points. And they also get those emissaries. I think we've got a victory for the monotheist by far. But there aren't many Vikings in the dead pile. So that might be the differentiation. These Tunit are not going to do well. Not even close. The amount of iron that he had collected up, that gave him up to 23 on the resource because the irons are worth 2 each. Population, it's not that big a difference. And then there's the 8 more points for having the representatives and kind of running the government. So, yeah, basically everybody is very, very far separated. It was not a close game. Now, what if he converted? What would that mean? It would mean one less population, say, and say an iron here. So he would lose a point there, but he'd have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more points, which would put him in the range of the second place, the Vikings. If I wanted to play this again, I think I'd want to play the survivalist style, just because it's more likely to kind of create the chances of these groups actually dying out and everything. Can I say anything about, hey, what do you want to do and everything? Well, I think very clearly aiming to be a monotheist is a good idea. I know I did not, you know, I didn't play a clean enough game to say, hey, it's a really great thing to be a monotheist. Look how much I won off of that. I don't think any of that's guaranteed because, you know, I could have banished this guy. In fact, I probably should have. Look, there goes 4 of his victory points right away. That is probably that's a minor factor to it. But the big thing is you're aiming for something and other people might be able to change who you are. The problem with becoming a monotheist is you have to wipe out all your elders in order to do it by your own hand. And you will no longer domesticate animals, and which my understanding is, especially in the survivalist mode, is really important. And you will no longer be able to, you lose some of your hunting capabilities. So like this tracker space here is what changes to the acolyte. Good for victory points, but you know, for making your way through the game, you don't want to be monotheistic early in the game, that's for sure. In fact, it's probably pretty hard to do. You have to wipe out your elders. Elders do good things for you. The domestication, the ideas, the war chief, the tracker, the mariner. These are all things that help you maintain your position on the board. So going monotheistic might actually be something that's happening as you're dying out. Because you've gotten so wiped out. But if you manage to survive as such, there is a strong capability to generate more victory points, because it's hard to get these trophy points. As you can see, nobody got a trophy, an actual trophy. What they got is the trophy points for, you know, for something else, for an idea or for whatever. Yeah, just for ideas, and not for wiping out, you know, one of these big animals. Part of that is, yeah, you know, I was interested in making sure my engine stayed working, and going for trophy points is a painful thing. But it's also kind of a dangerous thing, because if you have a lot of points banked in trophies, and this was a fair amount, there is the possibility that your enemy, who's monotheistic, will convert you. And that's kind of the, hey, what's good about being monotheistic? Well, what's good about it is you're aiming for something they can't take away from you, right? It's going to be hard for them to take resources from you, and they can't, you know, basically it's your own choice whether or not to burn resources. Events might hurt you. But also, they can't just flip you away and take away all your victory points because, you know, you've got the wrong type. On the bright side, most of these trophy cards, well, not the real trophies, most of these things that give you victory points can be converted to a lesser number of resource victory points. So it's not a total loss. Instead of 6 points, I'd have 3 here. However, you know, and of course, I might have other advantages, like being able to get those 4 points each for inserting people into other areas. Anyway, not a whole hell of a lot I can tell you, because I was so tied up in trying to figure out the board state and what the fuck was going on, and so tied up on complaining about the game and whatnot, that, you know, there was just no chance for me to create, you know, a real view of the strategy of it. Mainly because understanding what the game is trying to tell me about the world was very, very difficult and took too much energy. And a lot of that has to do with the amount of information presented on each card, the amount of the tableau that's presented, in a fashion that's not, you know, easily digestible to me. You give me a map of a military situation and whatnot, and there's a lot of complex information embedded into that, but it's all embedded in a way that's familiar to draw from. I'm sure it would be possible to familiarize yourself and get yourself as, you know, understanding of what this world that is being portrayed in this game represents and what your position is in it at any given time or whatever. But the point is, it's one game. It's one game, not drawing on capabilities that you will have developed through normal life, like looking at a map and seeing that things are geographically closer and whatnot. I have the same problem with the point-to-point maps, right? they don't show me the geographical distance in the normal way. They're showing me something that the length of the lines between points may not represent the actual distance and whatnot. I find it much, much easier to assimilate information from other maps. Sometimes that can be mistaken. I remember a couple of the regular maps in South America. A couple of the games like the War of Triple Alliance, the other one down there, the Chaco War or whatever. I remember those being really, really difficult to assess because the realities of supply, etc., may have been better represented on a point-to-point map. But the truth of the matter is, you very quickly can kind of look and say, okay, you know what? And indeed, the Serbian game that I was recently playing, where the supply lines made it very, very difficult to address things. It was difficult to see where the channels of advance actually were. But I would far rather be learning about what is preventing me from moving across a map than trying to understand some sort of abstracted situation. And then you go to something like this, where we're talking about there's just all these cards out here with values and all the symbology on them. It's a whole new language, and one that does not apply at all in the real world, right? I mean, I guess maybe if you grow up in Europe where, you know, to go to the bathroom you have to see a certain symbol on a certain place or something like that. And maybe that's more familiar. Being able to assess large quantities of disparate symbology and iconography. I mean, it wouldn't help if it was in words either, though, right? I mean, the icons are not particularly a problem. There are a few that are. For example, the visibility of this archer one, for whatever reason, that one just, it does not process for me. But small icons in large quantities all over the board, trying to figure out what you're supposed to do based on that. It's just too big a tax on me to be able to play a game with any kind of competitive nature. And therefore, I can't analyze the efficacy of strategies because I'm not really able to explore strategies. I'm too busy trying to figure out what the fuck the board is trying to say. You know? And this is what I mean about games that are designed to be in an obscuritist fashion. You basically have to study the iconography and the way the game interrelates all on its own, you know. And with the quantity of games that are out there these days, you know, if this had come out in 1980, maybe like Illuminati or something else, although that is a lot easier to analyze and assess the board state on, it would be worth the effort because it's kind of the only game of its type. But nowadays, every fucking, you know, modern Euro is just filled with this kind of crap where the game is about, as far as I can tell, understanding how the board is representing the situation. It's more about that than trying to come up with strategies to take advantage of that. Maybe at some higher level, you get to the point where you can actually develop strategies. But you got to play the game a bunch of times to begin to understand what the board is. And it's frustrating to not understand what the fuck is being represented. Therefore, it's not fun. Therefore, you don't want to play it a whole bunch of times. I honestly am just so far removed from whatever drives the modern Euro player that, you know, if you're like me, you will have seen right away, this is not a game for me.